Hello, I'm John Grandy. You may have seen my brief overview of the Society on our homepage. Today, I want to read you a story from 1827, the year that photography was invented and Beethoven died. The story concerns one of our more well-known awardees, Isambard Kingdom Brunel, the famous English civil and mechanical engineer, one of the greatest players in the Industrial Revolution, who changed the face of the English landscape with his groundbreaking designs and ingenious constructions. Brunel built dockyards, numerous important bridges and tunnels, the Great Western Railway, and a series of steamships, including the SS Great Britain, the first propeller-driven, ocean-going, iron-built ship, which can be seen today at the Great Western Dockyard in Bristol. This story, which relates to two incidents, is from the time when Brunel was an assistant engineer on the project to create a tunnel under the River Thames between Rotherhithe and Wapping, with tunnellers driving a horizontal shaft from one side of the river to the other under the most difficult and dangerous conditions. It is extracted from a letter in the language of the day sent to the Society by Mr. R.D. Beamish, assistant engineer of the Thames Tunnel Company. So here it is. On the 18th of May 1827, by the influx of water into the tunnel, we had all been forced to the top of the shaft, and when I was about to leave the place to convey the melancholy information to Mr. Brunel, there arose a cry of "Help! A rope!" The men were so crowded together, and my movements being rendered somewhat slower by having so recently extricated myself from the water, that it was with difficulty that I could obtain a view of the place towards which their anxiety appeared to have been directed. In the meantime, Mr. Brunel and Mr. Gravett had run around to the edge of the shaft, and seeing a man swimming with difficulty among the loose timber then floating and in agitation, Mr. Brunel seized a rope, and fortunately, finding another suspended, he slid down, swam to the man, and whilst making the rope fast around the poor struggler, he was joined by Mr. Gravett, who had slid down one of the iron rods of the shaft. The height, about 20 feet, and the quantity of loose timber floating upon the surface of the water precluded any attempt at jumping in. By the prompt and effective assistance thus rendered by my colleagues, was the poor man placed out of danger at a time when it was evident that his strength was fast failing him. On another occasion, when, by the upsetting of a boat, in which two directors of the Thames Tunnel Company, R.H. Martin Esquire and R.P. Harris Esquire, were surveying the works, after the first eruption of the Thames, Mr. Brunel and Mr. Gravett were enabled by their promptitude and presence of mind to render such speedy assistance as to save the lives of all but one of the party, which was thus placed in jeopardy. The man lost had entered the boat just as it was pushed off, unknown and contrary to the directions of Mr. Gravett, who was one of the party. He, therefore, was not missed immediately, nor until Mr. Martin and Mr. Harris had been placed in safety by Mr. Brunel and Mr. Gravett was the loss of the poor man known. These two gentlemen, on hearing of it, stripped and returned to the spot, and Mr. Brunel dived several times after him. The body, however, was not found for 20 minutes, when he was taken to the house of Mr. Beamish and placed upon his bed. Every means was resorted to which had been calculated to restore life. These applications were persevered in for 4 or 5 hours, but all in vain. The silver cord was broken, and the spirit had returned to God who gave it. I hope you've enjoyed that story, both inspiring and sad. Brunel was awarded a Royal Humane Society Silver Medal for his bravery in saving those men in 2 separate incidents during the building of the Thames Tunnel, which finally opened to the public in 1843. 250 years since 1774, and some 90,000 cases later, there is no diminishing the heartwarming glow that one experiences with each new case that comes before us. If you want to find out more about the Society, and about some of our more recent but no less distinguished award winners, please do look at our website. We are a registered charity and are heavily dependent on donations. You can join the Society either as a friend for £25 per annum or for £100 per annum become a governor, which means you will receive our annual report and can come to our AGM and meet us and some of our brave awardees. Or if you prefer, please just make a donation to the website, all of which will help the Royal Humane Society in its 250th year to continue to recognise bravery and the saving of life. Thank you for allowing me to share with you Isambard Brunel's Thames Tunnel bravery, and thank you for your support.